Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us here on Not Necessarily Political. And I tell you what, enjoy. We have visiting with us here Cashmere Williams, the world-renowned Cashmere Williams. Lonnie Malone is on the line, and I'm Valton Johnson. And Cashmere, welcome, sir.
Man, how's it going?
Everything's well. Everything's well. How are you?
No complaints, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yes, you are. And you have blessed us with lots of good music.
Hey, to God be the glory, man. It's not about me at all. Trust me, brother.
Hey, I understand. You know, what does the book of Acts say? It is because of him that we move, live, and have our being.
That's it, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Brother Cashmere, can you tell us, how did you get started in this? What made you pick up the guitar?
Oh, man. I could give you a long story, but I'm going to summarize it. I grew up in a household where my mother played guitar. My uncle was a preacher. He played guitar. On my father's side.
Cashmere, can you tell us, I'm sorry, I'm getting feed. Okay, there we go. I think we're good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So, you want me to continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I grew up in a household where music was in the family. So in the family, my mother played guitar. My uncle was a preacher. He played guitar. Give you a long story, but I'm going to summarize it. I grew up in a household where my mother.
All right, guys, hold on one second. I don't know what. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'll start over. I grew up in a household where music was in the home. My mother played guitar. My uncle was a preacher. He played guitar. And on my dad's side, my granddad was a Delta blues guitarist. So that is the example that I saw. So inherently, I ended up picking the guitar up just because that's what I saw.
Was that the first instrument you played?
First instrument I played. Now I do play fluently keyboards and bass and drums as well.
Okay. Do you sing too?
You know what? I sing a little bit. I tell people I play better than I sing.
You know what? I've never heard you sing, but I'll take that as a fair answer.
Yes.
So let's go back. Let me make sure, because I want to jump because you have such an impressive resume. What was that perfect note or that melody or that song that got you be like, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I will say when I won my first talent show at 8 years old, I won my first talent show at 8 years old playing a gospel song that my uncle taught me. The response I got was incredible. I knew then I wanted to play guitar for a living.
Where was this talent show?
This talent show was at my elementary school called Maxwell Elementary in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Well, actually, it's in Taylorville, Alabama.
Okay.
And that is I would say, the coup de grace moment when I knew, hey, man, I this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Okay. So since you told us that, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give us a little rendition of what you played.
Man, I tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. That's been over 30-something years ago. So I don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, what was the name of the gospel song?
I can't remember. It was
you don't remember? Also, you remember the glory day of winning, right?
I just remember it was a gospel song my uncle taught me. That's all I could tell you.
Yeah, okay. Good deal. Good deal. So I have a question for you. Now, I understand that Berkeley College is one of the finest music colleges you can attend. And when I saw that, I was like, hey, you know, the only other person I know that went to Berkeley locally was Eric Essex.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you know who that is.
I do.
Yeah. So what was your experience like at Berkeley?
Man, it was a culture shock because I'm a Bama boy, had never gone anywhere and never left the South, never left Tuscaloosa. I really just played in Tuscaloosa. And I won a partial scholarship from reading an ad in Guitar Magazine. And I sent in a 3-song demo, and they liked it. Yeah. And so that's how I ended up getting invited to audition. But before I went to Boston, I had to audition in New Orleans. And so that was another culture shock. I never left Tuscaloosa. I drove to New Orleans and auditioned from the panel from Berkeley, and about 2 weeks later, they called me and left a message on my voicemail and said, "We want to let you know you want a partial scholarship," and that's when I started making plans to move and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you hook up with Ruben Studdard and go on Jay Leno and do all that other stuff?
Yeah, I didn't hook up to with Ruben until really I started playing in Birmingham, man, around year 2000. Mm-hmm. And I was playing the local Birmingham scene, Owners Music Room and 22nd Street Jazz Cafe, and just trying to.
You're going back in some time. 22nd Street Jazz, man. That was back in the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like actually the late 90s going into the early 2000s.
Right.
And so I was just really just promoting my own quartet, and I just happened to meet the band leader with Just a Few Cats, who's from Tuscaloosa, Alvin Garrett, and who I trained, by the way. He studied under me, and he was already in Birmingham playing with Just a Few Cats and Ruben. And so long story short, he called me one time and said, "Man, our sax player can't make it. Can you just come up and just play the solo lines to everything?" I said, "Okay, yeah, sure, no problem." And that's how it happened. That's how I met Ruben.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. We got some good talent coming out of Alabama.
Yes, I think some of the best musicians in the world are from the South. No disrespect to anybody else, but I think we have a little bit of flavor down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a lot of you guys' personality comes out in the way you play.
Yeah, I think it's genuine. It's one thing to be a trained musician, but it's another thing to really love what you do and genuinely love what you do. And I think it transfers through your instrument, and people can tell if you're for real or not.
Absolutely. You're exactly correct. You're exactly correct. That transcends across anything that we do.
Yeah.
They said like a baby will cry when they know someone is mean. The audience can cry when they know you're not playing from the heart.
Oh man, but they can cry when you're doing it right.
When you do it, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you gonna give us a little something this evening?
I would love to give you a little something, man. So once I plug my interface in, I won't be able to correspond. So give me maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'll just give you a little tidbit, and then I'll come back in. We'll keep going.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. All right, brother.
All right, we hear you over there. We hear you.
I just want to give you a little bit, man.
Made me want to pick up a guitar and start playing.
Yeah, man. Just want to give you just tease you a little bit.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So what can we expect next from you?
Man, I tell you what, that is an awesome question. I'm actually working on a gospel jazz EP. It is 75% done. I have to lay the vocal tracks in a couple of weeks and get that done. Got a photo shoot next week. So man, I'm coming back full circle to where I started, which was gospel and in church. That's where I'm actually headed. And I'm so excited because it's a cleaner lifestyle. I just feel so comfortable doing it,
So as a jazz artist, I was always, can you play like other music, other styles? What's your other style that you love to play besides jazz?
Oh man, I love quartet gospel stuff like Cashmere Williams Brothers. I love the blues. Obviously, like I said, my granddad was a real Delta blues player. I do some of that. The smooth jazz thing is kind of my forte. But gospel is the foundation of everything I do. So that's it.
So what's your favorite gospel riff?
Oh man, I probably couldn't name one. But I will say my all-time favorite gospel guitarist was Spanky Alford. He's from Alabama, from Huntsville. He ended up playing with the Mighty Clouds of Joy and D'Angelo and Tony and Josh Stone. And he's still my all-time favorite. He's the guy I patterned my style after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everything you do. Val, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, so you said that, what's his name, Spanky?
Yeah, his nickname was Spanky, but his real name was Alfred Chalmers. Alfred Chalmers was his full name.
Okay.
But if you Google Alfred Spanky Chalmers, he'll come up. And man, he's on a lot of records. But he was a gospel player, but he transcended because he would cross over and do stuff with just all kind of D'Angelo, Angie Stone. You know, unfortunately, he wasn't a very viral musician just because of the time that he came up. Like now, everybody's online and stuff like that. So if you didn't know him, you would have to kind of search for him.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would say his flagship would be the Mighty Clouds of Joy. He played for them from the very beginning.
You know? Right. Yeah, I'm checking them out now. Neo Soul and Rick Springfield and stuff like that. And and what caught my attention when you said he was out of Huntsville, because you know we got Take Six that held out of Huntsville. It's Prime Ignite.
Yeah, we got Kelvin Wooten who's doing some great things.
Yep, Kelvin. Yep.
You know, Kelly O'Neill is from over there.
Yeah, I know Kelvin.
So man, it's just some great players. Norris Jones. Man, it's some just awesome players over there, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, man. We really appreciate your time.
So
being here tonight.
Why don't you think Alabama has reached that level like Atlanta? I mean, because you guys named some great players right there.
While I think it had reached that level like Atlanta, I think it has. It's just it's not marketed like you. It's not very. It's not public information. Because you know Birmingham is I know it's the largest city in Birmingham. It's the largest city in Alabama, but it's still not a major metropolitan city like say Houston or Chicago or Atlanta or Los Angeles. So I think things just kind of stay kind of in pocket there. But man, I could name so many. Ray Charles. I mean, just so many. Wilson Pickett, Nat King Cole was from Prattville, Alabama.
Right.
And he left Alabama and moved to Los Angeles, and he basically built Capitol Records and did the Nat King Cole show. So man, it's just, you know, I just think the South, because of so many negative things that I won't go into.
Yeah.
Because of racism, I think people kind of, when they leave the South, they don't want people to know they're from the South.
Right.
You know, they don't want people to know that.
Yeah. That was an interesting question, Lonnie, because that is applicable across the board. You know, why hasn't Alabama been, or Birmingham been, one of the cities and states that's a mecca that draws people in to want to land and plot their lot here? And it's basically based upon what Cashmere just stated. We have so much racism, and it's crazy because we do it to ourselves. We get enough going on the outside, but doggone it, we get it coming on the inside. So why you want to be bothered with the enemy from within and from without when you can go somewhere else and be accepted? So Cashmere, I'll applaud you, man. I'll applaud you.
Well, you know, that's Bible right there. They say probably has to leave his own home.
That's right.
So, you know, a lot of times you just got to leave where you're from, you know, because people won't appreciate you for what you do and things like that. Now, I'll go back to Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole served in World War I or World War II, whatever it was. And he came back to Alabama, and white people spat in his face. We're talking about a guy that's a freaking icon.
Yeah.
So what he said was, I'm going to move to Los Angeles, and he moved there. He never came back to the South. So there's so many musicians that have experienced systematic racism, and they know they can't make it in that type of system. So they have to go to where at least you have a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And it's just not conducive to people that are forward thinking and trying to move forward. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You know?
All right. My final question for you is this. So we're going to have some young people to look on, okay? And what would you tell a young person? What would you tell a young Cashmere today?
I would tell them,
your 10-year-old self. Your 10-year-old self. What would you tell your 10-year-old self who's interested in music, and you're in Alabama?
Right. I would say, number one, get an education, learn your craft, be able to write it, read it, play it. That's the first thing, because without education, that's going to follow you for the rest of your life. You got to have that paper with you. It's just like a doctor. He's certified. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing, get that education so you are a certified, glorified guitarist or singer or actor or lawyer. That's the first thing, because see, that way you are qualified. And then from there, man, being true to yourself and going to where people can receive you for what you do. Sometimes you got to get out your comfort zone and go to where people are going to support you. And a lot of times that's not where you are from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would tell them.
All right, cool. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm listening to you and talking with you, what's coming to mind now is, what would it look like if we tried to do a Zoom concert with a couple of guys and girls?
Oh man,
you know?
I think it would be awesome if you had a way to advertise it and market it so people could see it on a larger scale. I think it would be incredible.
All right. So if we reach out to you in the next month or so, in the very near future, would you be willing to just share if you could be a part of that with us?
Man, I'm 110% down with it, because I'm gonna tell you one thing. This platform is the new norm. This is not going anywhere.
Okay.
With COVID has forced a lot of industries to reinvent themselves, but a lot of it's for the good.
Right.
It's not all bad.
Right.
But I will tell you, for musicians, this is the new platform. Social media, Zoom, all this digital stuff, this is to our benefit. So yeah, man, just let me know when you want to do it. Okay. I'm in.
Okay, great, man. I appreciate that. That's good looking out. I want to get your contact. Lonnie, you have his contact info? Very good. Very good. Man, we appreciate you.
Do you do lessons?
Yeah, I do. I do Zoom lessons Monday through Thursday, 1 to 5. I have probably 20 students I work with on different levels, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So yeah, man, that's another source of income that I am blessed to have. And it doesn't cost me anything but an internet connection. That's it.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
You know, people call me and ask me to do voiceovers for them. You may have heard, "Welcome to Verizon Wireless," or something like that. Yeah. So people call and say, "How much would you charge?" And I will say, "Maybe you got to go to the studio." Yeah, I'm going to my home studio.
Yeah.
What instruments that you teach on?
Guitar is my primary, so I only teach on guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? You know, now's the time to get some lessons in on it. The bass.
Right. Get it while you can.
Yeah, man. You know, this platform is awesome. So, you know, call me. I'm easy to find. You guys can get my contact and post it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But man, I'm excited about this new technology that we're using right now, because, man, this is the future. Virtual reality is the future.
Right. And this is the brainchild of Lonnie Malone. This is all Lonnie. He invited me on, you know. Hey, I'm a guest. I'm a guest on the show just as you are. but Lonnie has given birth to this idea, and we want to show it up, build it up, and support him in as much as I can. You know, and whatever my brother needs, that's what I'm going to give him. So we're glad that you're here with us too.
And ladies and gentlemen, I know we haven't said it a lot, but tonight this is our second show, and I'm so honored to have Cashmere Williams on here. We are doing Conversation is Art, where we are highlighting our wonderful musicians around Alabama, around the country, and around the world. So music is a how do they say it? It's like a language that everybody can understand.
Yes.
International language.
Now,
International language.
one note, you can still understand it the same as everybody else. So
Yeah.
I want to say this, and I've never spoke to a guitar player. You're my first, because most, like I want to learn the bass, right? I love the bass, but I've had a bass for 20 years and never learned to play it. It sits beside my bed right now, right? But when it comes to the guitar, I played like tuba, trombone, drums, and percussion, and I started on piano. But back then, you hear boys don't play piano. I said, man, I wish I would have kept playing because I would have been, because I picked it up. Something is, I don't know what it is, but I can just do it, right? The guitar has always amazed me because you can do 3 or 4 things at one time. I'm like, how are they doing it? Because you can go from Jason Mraz to B.B. King to Dave Matthews to Prince to, it's like Eric Clapton, Santana, all these different players, Cashmere Williams, and, all these different players. That's why I asked, your style, when you say you created your style, how long did it take you?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, when I think I really got into my style, starting at 7 years old, I stepped out on faith in 1999. I started playing music full time, and I will say, this is 2020. I will say, by the time I did my 3rd record, I could say I had my own style. So that would be around 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think people start hearing my sound. And I think for myself, as far as growth, I could hear the growth in my sound from 99 to 2011. So now at 2020, I mean, I think I know what I definitely have my own style and signature and things like. And people know me when they hear it, they know it's me. So something like that, it's like a trademark. It takes time to build it. You're not going to get that in 5 years or 10 years. It may take you 15 years to get your sound to where people know it's you. George Benson, he played probably 20 years before he started singing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was just an instrumentalist.
Yeah.
But when he started singing, that's when he got his sound.
Yeah.
And so now George Benson is 74, 73 years old. So he's been playing longer than I've been alive. So what I'm saying is, to master an instrument, man, it takes time, man.
Yeah.
Looking at Ray Charles, he was doing the Nat Code. He was doing that, and then he implemented his own style. And it was like he was an older guy, but not old, but he was up there by then, And I'm like, man, to have a style, because you hear Eric Clapton, you hear Jimi Hendrix, you know what I'm saying? So. But even naming those people, you realize that they still different styles. You get what I'm like? That's how unique the guitar is, because B.B. King can make it talk. He could, and it just amazes me. That's why I'm saying the guitar has always been that thing that always inspired and amazed me, because I remember in church, I grew up Church of God in Christ, right? And we had the guitar preacher, and he'll be playing that same riff every time. There it is. You be like, yeah.
There we go.
But I appreciate you coming out. And when again, ladies and gentlemen, not necessarily political, I have brought you tonight. The conversation is art. We're on YouTube tonight because our Facebook just wouldn't work. It's technology. But I want to keep you inspired. Keep coming back every Thursday of this month. We have a new artist coming on. Do you have the list in front of you, Valton?
I do not. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
We have Cashmere Williams. He's been playing since 7 years old. He enjoys it, and he has his album getting ready to come out. He's going back to gospel jazz where he started. And so keep a lookout for him. He's been around. He's played with some wonderful people. from Ruba Studdard. He trained Alvin Garrett. Alvin Garrett will be on in September.
Awesome.
We're looking forward to that. Before we leave out, we have this thing, what we call a soapbox, right? And what that is basically a gift to the world, something that you're passionate about. You can play or you can talk, or you just give us about 30 seconds to a minute of something that you would like to leave the world. So if somebody just so happened to come across this in London and you just want to share something with them, what would that be?
Oh man, I just think, gosh, just be true to yourself. Whatever it is you're doing, whether it's practicing law, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a musician, whether you're a bishop, be true to yourself, and don't forget that what we do is not about us. It's about helping other people.
Right.
It's a bigger cause than just me playing the guitar. What I understand is God gave me this gift, and I'm supposed to spread it. It's not about me glorifying myself. It's about me spreading that so people can see the light in what I'm doing, and then I can minister to them. So whatever you do, just realize the purpose in which you, capacity in which you do what you do is bigger than you. That's what I would tell them. Don't think it's all about you, because it ain't. That's what I would say.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Because you can be replaced.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You know.
If you don't mind, can we beg you just out?
Yes, Lord. Hey, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you a little snippet from the gospel thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a little piece of that. And man, I just want to say thanks for having me. And I pray that your podcast is a blessing to people, that it's going to grow and reach people beyond, just reach people, for the right cause.
And like I tell everybody, and I especially mean it tonight, something about you, man. I'm looking forward to your new music. Whenever you want to come on, you got new music coming out, let us know. Matter of fact, let me see, how can I say, when you get your new CD or Apple, I don't know how you're gonna bring it out. We'll get 10 copies and we'll make sure we get it to different people on the show.
I love that, brother. I appreciate you, brother. I could use all of that.
We'll do that. But if you don't mind, can you play us something?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you a little piece of my gospel thing. I'm gonna plug my interface in, and we're gonna do this thing.
All right, let's get it.
All right.
Thanks again, brother.
Yeah, God bless.
Let's do it.
Let me hear first, ladies and gentlemen, a new song.
All right, Doc.
Yeah, that's what's up right there, man. That's hot.
Few notes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cashmere.
Favorite songs right there, man. I appreciate you. Again, anytime you want to come on, please. I would love to debut your album, and you know, when everything gets back right and concerts are going, you definitely got a ticket sold here. So,
one quick question, Cashmere.
Yes, sir.
Is that your God-given name?
My real name is Keith Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, Cashmere came about when I started playing smooth jazz.
That's what I thought. I was gonna say they must have had a prophetic message going on if they named you Cashmere, because you smooth as butter, Doc. Boy.
My boy said you smooth as cake mix, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No lumps in that thing.
I'm telling you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, across the board, you can reach us at Not Necessarily Political, except for Twitter is Necessarily Not. Tonight, again, Cashmere Williams, one of the best guitar players in Alabama, because he's from Tuscaloosa, so roll tide.
Yes,
sir.
Lord. I would like to say he's one of the best guitarists in the land.
Yeah.
In Alabama.
Well, I give y'all a shout out on your little Alabama team. How you say your little Alabama team?
Your little Alabama team on your little show.
Your little show. But thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back next Thursday. Sunday we have a very big interview coming up, so please join us at 3 p.m. on Not Necessarily Political. And we look forward to next week. And thank you all. You have a good
night.
Peace.
Live.